Hi everyone, hope you are doing well from wherever you are watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now today, Ruto attended the data privacy conference that was happening at KICC. And surprising, he went further to confirm that he's going to revive a project, one of the projects that he was really opposing during the campaign time. From the time he differed with Uhuru Kenyatta, Ruto was against Huduma number. But today, the same man is here to implement the same thing he was opposing. And that's what he said. In the next 6 months, 5,000 government services will be online. Initially, they were 200 services online. I want to ask the ICTCS to work on digital identification. So the initially dysfunctional Huduma thing will be revived. That is William Ruto for you. You can't. This is a man who was opposing Huduma number during the campaign. But he's busy here. Now he wants to implement it. You see, I have mine. I have mine is here. Then in reaction to this is what Professor Mutahi Nguni is saying. The more things change, the more they remain the same. Huduma number is back, and the government intends to borrow 3.6 trillion in debt during its first term. Media reports, different monkey, same forest. Now, I want to remind you some of the things that William Ruto opposed before he became the president. By then he was a deputy president and a presidential candidate. And this behavior started from 2020. Number one, CBC, Ruto opposed. And every time Ruto gets to Bungoma, the people of Bungoma always remind him to scrap the CBC because that's what he promised during the campaign. Number two, it was Huduma. Number three, it was BBI. And number four, it was all about borrowing, among other many things. But we are all aware there was a task force on BBI. Ruto knew exactly that he's not going to do away with the BBI. But because he was looking for something that was popular to use, he used BBI, not CBC, during the campaign. Right now, that CBC is back in the class. The task force brought the report. Now, his government is implementing CBC. Junior secondary is going to be in primary schools. Well, let's come to the BBI. Same man who opposed BBI. He was asking the electorate, mnataka BBI ama mnataka tuwafanyie kazi? He was asking, mnataka kupea watu vyeo ama mnataka tuwafanyie kazi? So for him, BBI was kutengeneza vyeo. But what did he do when he got to power? Number one, through an executive order, he made Musalia Mudavadi Prime Cabinet Secretary, implementing BBI using a backdoor. Now, he's preparing on how to create another position for the leader of opposition, an office that will be recognized in our constitution. Again, Ruto is trying to revive BBI using a backdoor. Ruto promised that he is not going to borrow, he's going to collect resources through the taxes to remove the burden that already Mwananchi was carrying. And this was selling. People would buy into that. But already this government has borrowed. And it is intending to borrow more than what Uhuru Kenyatta was borrowing. All the things that Ruto was opposing, he is back here implementing them. Where did we go wrong? Mheshimiwa Ruto alidanganya wa Kenya. That's the truth. It is like what Azimio was championing for, what Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga was supporting, it was right. Just by associating himself with this and by reviving all these things, they were all right. But he was opposing for personal interest. So if you voted for William Ruto and you expected that this is a man who is going to bring a change, that he's going to make his word to be his bond, then you are wrong. But the big problem is that the person we have as of now in the office is a man who's trying to implement things that he never believed in. So the big problem is that he will end up making more accidents, mistakes, and blunder while he's trying to implement something he never believed in. He was against BBI. So you see, he's trying to use backdoor. He might not implement it the way it was supposed to be because it was not his agenda. But indeed, BBI was good for Wananchi. Most of the things, just a few things, they were supposed to change there. This is a man who was against CBC. Sasa wameinyofoa hata vile wanairudisha na ile njia wanarudisha nayo, wameinyofoa tayari. It's like a mixture of the old, ile ilikuwa 844, na wamemix na hii CBC. So it's kind of, yani haina kichwa. Sasa Ruto saizi ukiangalia, Mheshimiwa Ruto kwa saizi vile ako, he's like no BBI and yes BBI. Hii ni gari yenye haina mbele wala nyuma. That's Ruto for you now. So you can never predict what he's going to do. Who expected that Ruto is going to support this card? He used it during campaign and he was warning people that these people are going to collect your data, they will use it. Or was there something Ruto was trying to hide? That if we go for Huduma, then that things will be exposed. But now he's in power, he has got to fix everything, and he has allowed people can have Huduma number because now he has fixed something that was hanging. Kuna nini yenye alikuwa anaficha wa Kenya hii yenye sasa ameingia kwa mamlaka ameifix, and now is allowing people to have the Huduma. Huduma was a good thing. Unabebana na kadi nyingi, sijui NSSF, NHIF, bank card, so many cards we are carrying. ID, but this one alone was enough. License, those many licenses. It was all going to be combined in one chip card like this one. But Ruto was against this card. Now we can see who William Ruto is. Don't expect Ruto to implement those things he was promising during the campaign. So kwa wale wachache ambao walipigia Ruto kura, expect little from William Samoei Ruto. But he will end up getting it wrong because he wanted to implement what Azimio was campaigning on, and that was not his agenda. He did not know how Azimio were going to implement it. He's just hijacking the Huduma agenda, the Azimio agenda. Mtoto si wako, ulimkataa. Lakini sasa unajifanya unataka kulea yule mtoto. You will end up abusing the baby. This is not your child. You was against the baby. So, in the process of nursing this baby, you will end up choking the baby. BBI was not your car. Now you take it, you want to drive it using a back door through the National Assembly. You will end up committing an offense. Accident is inevitable. This government is even going to borrow more because they have appetite for money. He promised they will not borrow. But if you look on William Ruto's plan, the things that he promised, look on how he's implementing his hustler fund. It's drama. So the truth is that he will even borrow more. He's going to burden the taxpayers. And that's why he's already putting more taxes. He's doubling the taxes because he's planning to milk everyone dry at the end of the day. So this is a president. Ni yule tu Zakayo mwenye alikuwa ana collect ushuru tu, ni yule kabla apatana na Yesu. Ndio sasa tuko naye kwa ofisi sasa. So we have a government that is clueless on what they want to do. They are trying everything. They want to test everything. You touch everywhere. So they are trying to implement the Azimio Manifesto, Azimio agenda, but they are not the owner. So they will end up missing the citizen.